show, everyone, and I always say on the first Thursday of every month, if it's the first Thursday of the month and it's 1 o'clock, we have Havie and Howard from Bravo Insurance Agency, that they are here the first Thursday of every month. We are live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We will share the show later on. So I have with me my first guest, which I'm so excited to have on. I absolutely love these guys. I have with me Havie Bravo and also Howard Farkash, and they are the principals of the Bravo Insurance Agency. Welcome back to my show, and I am so excited. I like to call this is actually your show right now. Havie, tell everybody a little bit about yourselves and why you're here today, and I'm going to let it just be your show, so go ahead.
Oh, thank you. It's always great to be back. Howie and I love your show and being on.
Thank you.
And today we have a special guest. Before I introduce him, though, the reason we have him coming is because we're working more and more with small businesses, and today's small business environment is having a hard time attracting and retaining employees. And the reason this gentleman here, David Brobst, he's a fantastic guy. I've known him since 2004, 18 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time. I'm glad you got to say his last name and not me.
He's a good guy, though. He's a good guy. Small employers, 2 to 100, is what his company specializes in. And they provide benefits like short-term disability to replace your paycheck in case you become disabled, critical illness in case you don't have living benefits on your life insurance, so you can add them on as an add-on, or accident plans on and off the job. That's very important because everybody has health insurance, but they have gaps, meaning deductibles, copays, and co-insurances. So this fills the gaps. But with his help, we're helping a lot of people. The business market, like I said, is having a hard time retaining or attracting quality employees. And the people are not only chasing dollars, they're chasing benefits.
Right.
So David, would you please help us understand what you offer?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, you guys hit it right on the point here. I think COVID showed, the weaknesses businesses have in hiring. If you turn on the television, the radio, anything that's going on today, it's just everybody has a want, for good employees, not just filling a desk, but good quality employees, and they're still very, very hard to get. And I think also with the other thing that small businesses face that larger companies fortunately get to buy their way out of, that smaller businesses don't get to do because of regulations and other things, is having programs affordable for the small business. There's obviously great strength in buying power for a large company to say, gee, we have 10,000 people, we can give discounts, we can give volume discounts. Unfortunately, small businesses do not get the same benefit because a lot of health insurances have to limit programs that they can offer, which leaves a tremendous gap on the employers themselves and the employers. And what our products are really designed to do is not to replace health insurance. Health insurance is fantastic, but obviously there's a lot of cost in health insurance programs, especially for those under 25 employee groups. What our programs do is really help employees save money on their health insurance by being able to raise, just like your car insurance or any other insurance, it's all about the deductible. What does it cost me to be injured, sick, disabled? And what does it, everybody says, well, insurance covers blank. Well, the question small employers have to ask, what isn't covered? And that's where we come in.
Go ahead. So, and I also just want to say with the small businesses out there, it's also the people that are looking for work. They're looking that they are going to get covered. They're looking for as many benefits as they can. And I'm hearing from you is that you're an added benefit is
Correct.
What I'm thinking, what I'm hearing. Go ahead.
Right, and what that does for the employer is attracts, people have choices now. There are lots of openings. Yes, a lot of companies have needs, so when you're comparing apples to oranges to one company and your company can offer something a little more than the neighboring company, the competitor can't offer, I think that's where having additional coverage, fills those gaps.
Some added value.
Added value. Yeah, added value is a great word. Yeah.
Now, Howard in the past has mentioned on his logo and slogan was big company benefits.
Big company benefits without busting the budget.
Right, and that fits so perfectly with this.
Right. And the advantage of voluntary benefits is you can pick based on your family's needs. There's 3 of us sitting here that all are in the insurance industry, but we all have different needs depending on what we do and how, what our family needs are. having spouses and having deductibles. So it gives a lot more flexibility. Like Howard had a great point. It gives those people power to choose the plan that fits them. What scares them at night? Young families, a lot of it's accident. Income replacement. We saw this with COVID. People unable to work because they have COVID. Well, even though you don't have an income coming in, you still have house payment, car payments, all those things that keep coming in regardless of what happens otherwise.
He gets excited.
I get excited when I start
Especially
talking.
Ohio State.
Yeah,
Well, when you're I'll tell you what it is. It's not necessarily excited. I think he's passionate.
I'm very
Oh,
passionate.
very passionate guy.
Yeah, I've been doing this for, I probably shouldn't say, am I allowed to say here? 29 years. I started right out of high school. Just kidding. But yeah, it is. It's a great business because we only help.
Right.
We, no one's ever, we sell a product that I wish you never use.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, David mentioned that all three of us have different needs as personal family people, but we also have different roles in the insurance industry. Okay, for example, Howie and I will find clients, ask the many questions that we do, because we try to put ourselves in their shoes. And then we tabulate that information and give it to him, David, to say, well, this plan should work for you. Here's the pricing. Here's the underwriting for it. That's where he fits with our operation.
Correct. I work for the carrier, so we are the underwriter. So we provide the products, and my job to help these folks is to come up with a plan based on the type of businesses they're working with, based on there's some demographics that come in place, occupations that come in place, and really put together a plan and sell to them. We do not sell directly. We only sell through the power of folks like Havie and Howard that go out there and face the customers head on. My job is to be that support, to give them big company value without them having to wear a company crown.
What I think I know about the Bravo insurance agent, I don't think I know, is they are there to help find solutions for the people out there. Businesses, we're talking right now, small businesses that you've been working with now a lot because of the climate that we're in. I say the climate, the environment that we're in now, this is what people are looking for. And if you don't have what the people that you're looking for, employees, if you don't have what they're looking for, they're going to go somewhere else. And that's where when you're having issues, these are the people to call.
Absolutely. Employers realize now, especially after COVID, that it costs more to find new employees and train them versus retaining them. So if you can retain them, they're already trained, you know them, you trust them, you've done a background check with them already, you're more comfortable.
Their phone number to call, it's 480-534-4022. Operators are always standing by. They have been doing this for over 36 years, and I want to say what I know about them the most. When you said you ask questions, you really get to know your clients. You ask them deep questions and find out, where can I make sure that I help this person get what they need to help them with their business or personally or what have you, so that it's all down when you come down to the bottom line, peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right, and that's worth a lot.
You want to give them a call. Their phone number, again, it's 480-534-4022. Their website, it's bettercallbravo.com. And you always say, and we only have a minute here, they make things turn better when things turn bad. And we're in a downtime right now.
Absolutely.
Where you better believe it, you need to give them a call and see how they can help.
Especially with the market. If your 401k or 403b is down, call us. We have plans to replenish that money that you lost in the market.
We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further, and they're going to tell you just how. Again, that number, 480-534-4022, bettercallbravo.com. They've got ways to help you when things turn bad. And right now, this is what we're all looking for. Again, bettercallbravo.com. We're going to keep on going. Yeah.
Are we switching?
Oh, that's right.
Switcheroo.
Well, we're going to switch a Rooney, but that's what we're going to do here. Just tell everybody. And we're going to
Yeah,
switch.
we're going to switch. Get David to step back.
Okay.
Howie's
Nice
coming
job.
in.
Nice job.
Because we're going to talk
Very
about
nice
Medicare.
Here's your notes.
Yes. You don't want my notes, Howard?
That's okay. This is behind the scenes, folks.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Oh, we're still live, so I probably should not say anything.
Yeah, it's okay.
Appropriate or-
Go ahead and sit over here, and then we'll have you two.
live, yes.
Let's go ahead and bring that over on that side, and then he can use this one. Okay? It'll be cleaner. Okay?
Sweet.
Hello, hello, hello. Gotta help them out, you know.
Where would we be?
So, pretty busy lately.
Anyone else, actually? Yes, we've been pretty busy, but Medicare season's coming upon us.
Yes.
And Howard
Has
is
been
especially busy.
Yeah.
Amazingly busy.
Yeah.
Busy time of year. This is our season, just like tax season.
Yeah, this is your
Deadline,
season.
et cetera.
Yeah, getting
exactly.
excited about it.
I'm not excited.
Well,
He's overwhelmed.
why not? Yeah, we just said that on. Hello. That's okay. You love what you do. I know you
Of
do.
course I do, but the point is, it's overwhelming.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah, exactly.
That, but you know what? What you need to do is learn a lot in a very short period of time, and what it's hard to do. But you know what? You have been helping your clients for a very long time, a long time.
Yes to
And
all that, yes.
yeah, we've talked about that
Sure.
before. But being able to help them get the right plans for
The
them.
right plan is
The
very
right plan
important.
for Medicare, Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, the right plan for drug cards, very, very important. He does a drug study, and he takes
A drug study?
a drug
Drug
study.
study, we
Ooh.
study drugs, sure.
Ooh,
So
that's
let's say
interesting.
let's say a client has 16 drugs they take, and there are people who do that.
Oh, sure.
There are like 20 different drug plans out there. Which one's going to be more beneficial?
Which one is going to have the most efficiency to it, dollar cost efficiency?
So you called that a what? A drug what?
Drug study.
Drug study. You do drug studies on
So do
them.
drug studies
We
on
do.
everybody, sure.
We do.
By the way, I love that. That was so cute too. On everyone,
And
65 and older.
Well,
Anybody
people,
who has Medicare.
Medicare. 'Cause
Medicare.
You can have Medicare under 65 if you're disabled.
Right.
But that's only Medicare Advantage in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
And we also review for, make sure the doctor's going to be in your plan next year.
We're up.
That's pretty important. Going?
This is
That's
me.
you.
So welcome back, everyone. When we are talking about the Bravo Insurance Agency, you cannot not on this day talk about Medicare season, right?
You have
Because it's
to.
you said your season is coming up and now it's here.
It's just like tax season.
So-
It has a definite finite period when it's over.
And so you've been getting ready for that. And before we came on, we were talking a little bit about you. And one of the things that we said while you were on air is you like to ask a lot of questions.
Yes, we do.
Let's talk about Medicare season, what's going on with that, and some of the things that you do a little differently.
Well, I think the most important thing about the Medicare season is that we're looking for the right plan for each individual. Just because there are a huge number of plans available, how do you select the right one? If you have a plan that you like this year, you loved the plan, it was great, it could turn over to be a monster for next year if you don't review it and check it and see if there might be something better for you. Throughout the year, the carriers will change co-pays. They'll change drugs that are carried. Doctors will leave plans. So it's important that you review your plan during this period that we have. It's called the AEP, the annual enrollment period. It's important that you review your plan to make sure it is the plan that you want for next year. You do not want January surprises. That's when you go over to the doctor and you flash your card and they say, we don't take that anymore. It's a pretty big disappointment. When you go to a pharmacy and you're used to getting a $0 copay or a $10 copay, and they tell you it's $47 or $67, you want to know what went wrong. If you didn't do a review, that's what went wrong.
Well, these are the things you do want to make sure that you get a review. One of the things that you talked about before was that a lot of people own a lot of drugs, and there's been a lot of changes in that, always is in Medicare. And you do what's called what did you call it? You called it a drug study.
Yep.
For people that are on Medicare. But there's a great reason, and I love that you called it that, because you're going to really find out. You said some people are on, let's say, 20, 15, 20 drugs that they're taking. It's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. It is not uncommon indeed. There are many people with an excessive number of prescriptions. That's a testimony of the good medicine that we have these days. The doctors take care of the serious problems and leave you with the straggling minor problems to treat with medication, basically. So there could be 15 or 16 drugs in a study, in a case, basically. Unfortunately, we do not do the silo effect. One doctor prescribes 5, another doctor describes 5, and a third doctor describes 5, but no doctor knows what the other doctor is doing. Mine is strictly a financial analysis to see which plan will deliver your drugs to you over the course of the year at the lowest cost, the lowest price. Mm-hmm. So it's an aggregated cost, 12 monthly premiums for your plan, plus the projected number of copays that you'll have and the value of those copays over the course of the year. It can mean a big difference. I've saved people anywhere from $200 to $2,000 in the course of a year. So it's very important that you look at that.
And
because
so
the pills are the same pills going into your tummy the same way. So the question is,
how much you want to pay for those?
How much extra do you want to pay for those? You don't want to pay anything extra, especially at this time of high inflation.
High inflation,
right.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, this year
every dollar saved is a meaningful dollar.
This year more than ever, I think, because of our inflation and everything, and people, and obviously we know our seniors. You're living on fixed incomes, and you always want to save money where you can. But now this year more than ever, I think for sure. What number do you want them to call? Do you want me to this one?
I'll give you
I know.
number.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the Medicare specialist in the house here. 602-909-8433.
See how he got really loud when he did that? It's 602-909-8433. And another thing that I want to talk about too, I have to say it, and I do it a lot when you're on, and I'm sorry, but I have to. You're an older gentleman, right? You know, but you understand from the inside out. You have been doing it for how long?
Well, ever since
you were a baby.
1998.
Long time. Right. And so, but what I also want to say is when somebody's a senior, it's really nice. They like to resonate with people that understand them. And certainly I believe that a senior like you understands that.
Absolutely. But there's a call for young people to be involved in understanding Medicare just as well, because they sometimes help their parents.
Well, let's talk about that. That's important, right?
That's very important because a lot of people never had to make their own decisions about buying a health insurance plan. They got it through their employer, and what it was, it was. There's no further talking about it. But now there are a huge number of plans that you have your choice of, basically. Some of them are direct copies, one over another, just the name on the card, the name of the carrier is changed. But outside of that, there's many plans that are individual, so you get a lot of choice in the Medicare world, and that can be confusing for people who've never had to make that kind of decision.
Let him talk.
And another way consumers can help themselves is contacting Howard sooner rather than later, because he gets bombarded, okay, and he needs to take the time to do the job right for you.
But here's another thing I want to say. I'm sorry, I have to say this.
Sure.
Younger folks, you said that's really important, that they are the ones that are helping. But this is what I want to say about you younger folks. You go up on Dr. Google, and you should not do that. And because that's what they think. Oh, Mom, I'll go ahead and I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's not a do-it-yourself exercise.
This is not.
There are many traps and hidden parts to Medicare. It's a little bit like the tax code. The rules are very, very simple. It's the exceptions that really get you.
Right, and so when we talk about the younger children, family members that are trying to help, you are trying to help, but going up on to the websites and things like that, you are not necessarily going to get the right information. Having somebody here local here to talk to, it's very important.
The other side of this also, the other side of this also is speaking English versus speaking governmentese insurances, basically.
Right. And
what's that?
A lot of what I read
getting someone live
confuses me until I actually get to read it 2 or 3 times.
Well, you want to get somebody live like yourself, not to call a toll-free number and get somebody different all the time.
Well, that's true too.
But also, we still do house calls.
Yes, by all means.
Right.
Well,
we might not be a former quarterback for the New York Jets.
Talk to the mic. If you want your time, talk to the mic.
We might not be former quarterbacks for the New York Jets, but we'll be there.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. We're the fur coat.
Yeah, and hey, that's really funny that you said that. But we've talked about that before when we've been on, and we've talked about Medicare. A lot of people go up on they're watching television and they see Joe Namath and they're, oh my God, I got to call Joe Namath. He's going to talk to me and help me with my Medicare. He's not going to do that.
I'll call Jimmy Walker.
Or Jimmy Walker, or whoever you want to call. Those are not the people that you're going to talk to. And they're there. Another thing that we want to talk about is your 83 carriers that you have. But in Medicare, there's got to be how many? But in Medicare, there's a lot too.
I'm not one of those analyzers that gets down to the last number, but there's got to at least be 40 Medicare supplement carriers servicing the state of Arizona, and there's probably about 12 to 15 Medicare Advantage plans carriers again. Some of those are intermingled. Some carriers actually have both supplements and Advantage programs.
So you want to talk to somebody local, their phone number, 602-909-8433. Let him do a drug study on you. And we talk about that lightly, but at the same time, it's so important. Yes, and we have a doctor coming on later, but I know that she's a holistic doctor, and drugs, the word drug is not something they always love to hear, but the fact is that a lot of seniors are on a lot of drugs. Right or wrong, they're on them.
We can clean that up. I do medication studies.
Oh, so when you do that, okay, there you go.
Right.
But honestly, though, it's so important because, like, for instance, when somebody's on, let's say, insulin or whatever they're on, your drug for you, that could be so much different. The language is so different when you're looking at it online and things like that, or where you know how to look for it, and the price of it could be changed from plan to plan.
Carrier to carrier, generic to preferred, to name brand.
Well,
Right.
the one that you hit, insulin, is now becoming standardized with a limit to how much.
Which is
money
nice.
we have to spend, basically, yes.
But there's so many other people that are on so many other different drugs, but so many other reasons to make sure that you're on the right plan for you, saving you money. That is what it's all about. And for seniors, obviously for anyone today, but seniors for sure, this is what we want to do, is make sure you're on the right plan for you. What else do we want to talk about?
Well, we want to talk about the fact that you should understand the structure of Medicare, basically. Medicare itself pays 80% of the bill. You have to find a way to get 20% covered, basically. You can do that with a Medicare supplement, or you can do that with Medicare Advantage plans. So you have to decide what kind of person you are, because those are very different types of plans. One is strictly financial. They'll cover that extra 20%. The other is operational, basically, where you pay co-pays on the trailing edge for your service. That's the Advantage plans. Or in the case of the supplement, once you hit your deductible, which will be $226 for 2023, once you've hit that deductible, you have no more to pay, basically.
And everybody has to
other
have
than your premiums.
And everybody has to have Medicare Part A and B anyways for either plan.
Exactly. So you got to define what kind of person you are. Are you a pay me now or pay me later kind of person?
Right.
But if you pay me later, you might be paying more in the long run.
And have less choices of where you get your care.
Well, it's Medicare season, and we all know that, but you need to make sure that you get a review. That's what it's all
That's
about.
what it's
If
about.
you don't, you're going to be sorry. For next year, you could walk into your doctor's office and get a big whammo
So they better
surprise.
call Bravo, right?
They better call Bravo. That number to call them is 602-909-8433. This is a free service to you to be able to get this information. It just makes sense. Better call bravo.com or call 602-909-8433.
Excellent. Thank you very much.